Oh no. Hey, can you hear me now? Sorry about that. So I guess there was no sound from the beginning. Uh, yeah, welcome to another live stream in the Reasonable Productivity series. I'm working in Django REST framework. You can get a link to the repo that I'm working off of in the description below. Hi, Jones. Hi, everyone. So yeah, and there's a README on the repo so you can see the schema, API, and also the roadmap that we've been working off of. And so in between streams, I actually, if you've been following along, I did just a little bit of code cleanup. Like I added this settings file to set the tab size as 4 spaces for my VS Code editor. I added a git ignore. Well, I had a git ignore, but I added a lot more things because I was accidentally pushing my PyCache files. So real quick, if you haven't seen this before, it's gitignore.io. And this website, you can put in the technologies that you're using, like Django and Python, click enter, and then I click create. And it creates this whole gitignore file for me of all the different things that I'm probably going to want to include in a gitignore, so that way I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so this is a cool tool if you didn't know about it. Yeah, so I did some housekeeping issues. The only other thing I did was I added a user serializer in user view, which gives me this user's endpoint. So thanks. Leave a link, to the gitignore. Yeah, sure. Oh, wait. Oh, so it actually routes me to TopTal now. I think they must have bought it then. Okay, well, I'll just put it here then in the chat, gitignore.io. Yeah. Okay, and for the users, so now I have some basic user URLs. So I don't want this. I'm pretty sure I won't want this in production. This is just for testing, so I can get all users by making a GET request, and I can also post a new user here. Let me zoom in. So I can post a new user here and put some kind of password. I'll never remember that password. Yeah, and then I have a new user that I created, and I don't return the password here, of course, and then I can get all of the users that I've created, basically. If you remember last time, at the end of last stream, I also had a bug, so let me get out of these files. So there was something I couldn't figure out, and it was basically I have a foreign key to users, so a user owns a list, right? So I have user ID in the list table. Well, I had to use this serializer's primary key related field to relate them, and then include it in the fields in this nested meta class. So I just made that small change. Yeah, so what I want to do in this stream today, and just some text, basically. And then later on, I might add some is checked and things like that, because lists you might also be able to check off things on lists. So I could add those, but and then another thing that's that I'm gonna have to figure out how to do is, so Django creates, when I use their default router, which is what I'm using in, let me get a URL. So I'm using this default REST API, Django REST API router. Hi everyone, sorry. The stream just dropped. It should be fixed now. I'm plugged directly into the Ethernet, so hopefully it's smooth for the rest of the stream. Anyway, in my models inside of this lists app that I have, I'm going to create another class here. So I'll create, hi, how are you? Class list item. And list item, I also want to extend from timestamps because I want that created at and updated at, or those two columns. Oh right, list is a reserved keyword, so I don't really want to be overwriting that. So I need to come up with a new name. I don't know. What should I call it? Parent list? Maybe? So I don't use that keyword. Let's see, models dot foreign key, which will be list. And then on delete. So when I delete a list, what do I want to do with the list item? I think I want to delete it too. So I'll do models dot cascade. That seems to be what I almost always do with foreign key relationships. Okay, and then text. So this will just be whatever text you want to type in for that list item. So I'll do, yeah, I'll do a models.charfield. And then I think that's it, because I'll get the created at and updated at fields. And then if I want to define a string value, self, let's return self.text. Yeah, because that's really all I have for this. Okay. So my flake8 linting's not complaining. That's good. All right, so I have list item. What I want to do is hook it up to a URL and a view. So anyways, let me set up the import. Okay, and then the path here, we'll see what it generates for me, and then we'll update and make more URLs based off of that. So now I can go into my views, and I have a list serializer, so I want to create a list item serializer. And okay, so I have class. Let me just get rid of these trailing spaces. Okay, that's what it was complaining about. So I have this list serializer, so I'll do list item serializer. And for these, I'll have, so it's a primary key related field, and here I want it to be related by list. So instead of user model, I'm going to just say list.objects.all to define the query set. And then I'll call this, I guess I'll call it parent list again. Yeah. Is that the best name for it? I don't know. And then here I just want text. There's no name and description there. Should I call it parent list? I need some kind of marker of belonging. So besides just list, I mean, I guess that's okay. I can rename the column later. Okay, so I have the list item serializer set up. Now let me create this. So I'll create this view set. So list item view set, which is what I'm importing in my URLs file already, list item view set. And now here I want to query for list items, and then I'll just set up my list item serializer. And I'm kind of setting all these up because I know I'm going to add a lot more logic later on, especially after I start building the front end and kind of switching back and forth between the front and the back end. Okay, so list item, I need to import list item from models. So list item. All right. Let me see. Okay, I have list item, and let me go here. Oh wait, am I running it? Yeah, I'll run the migration in a second. Okay, so now let me go here, and it says I have lists, tasks, users, admin. So let me go to lists. And I have some lists that I've created, but let's see. So if I go to list/1, that should, yeah, get requests for just that one list. And then I don't think I can do list item here. Nope. So I have to set that up as a custom URL. All right, so this list item view set, let's see. Let me go to URLs. So router.register list view set, list item view set. So a view set should give me a group of URLs. And in the Django REST framework, this is just an example they have. So it shows snippets, and then you have snippet/primary key, which is what I have. So I have list/list ID, and then they're doing a path. So snippet/ID/highlight, which is the same functionality that I want. And they're registering it views snippet view set. So I think I'm just going to copy this and let's see, snippet highlight, render classes. Let me see what I have. So I basically want this as my path, I guess. Or wait, so I already have these paths here. So let me just see if I can do list/primary key and then /list items. And I have this list items view set. So routers.urls. So I'm not sure how to get that to register as a router here. Do I want that? So I don't know if I need two different routers for that. Let me see. So this might be just easier if I search for it. So, okay, let me do Django REST framework. I guess nested resource URLs. Server not found. Let me see. So create a post nested sub resources. Okay, I think this is what I want. Nested routers. Okay. So this person. Hi, unknown man. Yeah, sorry about the lag. I thought it was going to go away when I plugged into the Ethernet, but I guess not. Alright, well, I dug into the REST framework and it seems to be a mismatch is due to the URL pattern not resolving to the appropriate view namespace. Okay. All right, so that's not helpful. Let me go back. Oops. This person might have an example. All right, serializer relations. Relation fields are used to represent model relationships. They can be applied to foreign key, many-to-many, and one-to-one relationship. So this doesn't help with the URL, I think, but this is what I have. I have a relation field already. So I wonder if it would generate the URLs for me if I have relationship fields like these. Like in my views file, I have this primary key related field to list over here. So query set many, allow null false primary key field, hyperlink, okay. Argument slug related field. Okay, maybe this is what I want, nested relationships. As opposed to previously discussed references to another entity, the referred entity can instead be embedded or nested inside the representation of an object that refers to it. If the field was up, okay, many equals true. So here are two different serializers, and writable nestable serializer. So this is what I have here. Okay, so this is creating a track from inside the album serializer.